Hey guys, welcome to techENT. I'm Jeevan, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a review of Samsung's S25 series. Now, I know we're missing the Galaxy S25 itself, the smaller version of the S25 Plus, but we've got this one and the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which is Samsung's real flagship. So let's jump into it. Let's start off with the design. As you can see here, Samsung has opted to give its whole flagship series kind of the same design language. Now, we've seen this design language in the S24, especially when it comes to the regular S25 Plus and the S25. However, when it comes to the S25 Ultra, they've done away with the legacy design, which gives it more of a Note feel and made it more cohesive with the S25 series as a whole. So we have rounded corners, a relatively flat surface, and it's got similarities when it comes to how it looks in the back. Like, you literally can tell that it's a Samsung S25 series. The biggest change, of course, is there's no more curved display and it's not curved front and back. Whereas when it comes to the camera setup, we've got pretty much the same setup from the S24. Of course, the biggest difference when it comes to camera will be the S25 Ultra, which comes with an additional 50 megapixel telephoto camera, which gives you extra resolution when you're doing the super zoom shots. Now, let's talk about performance. When it comes to performance, of course, you're expecting the best from Samsung when it comes to their hardware. All the phones in the Galaxy S25 series come with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. And Samsung has done a few tweaks to make it specially designed for their phones. When it comes to performance, of course, day-to-day battery life is pretty good across the board. Using the Galaxy S25 Plus, I actually managed to get about 13 hours of battery on a regular. Now, if I'm using it less, I probably will charge my phone once every 1.5 days. With the Ultra, on the other hand, I'm getting slightly more battery, which is expected given that it has a larger battery, but it's also got a larger display and powering a lot more when it comes to hardware. So I've gotten at least 14 to 15 hours of battery life on a single charge with the S25 Ultra. When it comes to differences on the phone, let's talk about camera first. The S25 Ultra has a little bit of an edge because it has 4 sensors compared to the 3 on the S25 Plus and the S25. When it comes to sensors, this has more megapixels. You have a 200 megapixel main sensor, a 50 megapixel ultra wide sensor, 10 megapixel telephoto sensor, and a 50 megapixel periscope telephoto sensor. Now, this gives you amazing detail, especially when you're doing those super zoom shots or your moon shot. Now, it also has a lot more detail when you're doing shooting of videos. Compared to the S25 Plus, I actually prefer the quality of the camera on the Ultra. It's sharper, you get more details, and I feel like Samsung has optimized its software to perform a little bit better on the S25 Ultra. Aside from that, the S25 and the S25 Plus aren't really missing out on much. On the S25 and S25 Plus, you have a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 10 megapixel telephoto sensor, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor. Now, this gives you a lot of versatility when it comes to shooting and also even video recording, but you lose out on the periscope telephoto that is on the Ultra. However, that aside, you are actually getting a pretty good camera setup, which is versatile enough that you'll be able to get the shots that you want. And in all 3 devices, you're actually getting the same camera software. You get your pro shooting mode, which allows you to take control of how you want your footage to look like. And you also have the ability to shoot in log, which flattens out colors while keeping the color data so that you can actually tune it to how you like it later on. Now, you're going to be able to get all the features across the board. You're not missing out on anything software-wise when it comes to the camera. You'll have best face. You're also going to be able to use your camera to get macro shots, especially on your Ultra. But on the S25 and the S25 Plus, your macro shots are more software rather than hardware. So aside from the cameras, the biggest differences that you see across the board is the display and the battery. On the S25, you get a 4000 mAh battery, which is bumped up slightly to 4900 mAh on the Plus, and the Ultra has 5000 mAh for its battery. Now, all of them are capable of 45 watt fast charging and wireless fast charging, and you also have reverse wireless fast charging across the board. Display-wise, only the S25 has a lower resolution 1080p screen. The Plus and the Ultra come with Quad HD displays, and all of them have a 120Hz refresh rate. So the biggest difference when it comes to the Ultra is the S Pen. Now this is a little bit of a love-hate thing for me this year because Samsung has removed the Bluetooth functionality from the S Pen. And for me, that is a big handicap on the S Pen. However, Samsung says that only 1% of users actually use those Bluetooth functionalities. So you won't be able to use like remote shutter or even your gestures to control the zoom of the camera when you're using the S Pen. However, you can write, you can sign, you can draw. All of those are still intact and you still have the sensitivities that have come in previous Ultra series phones. With the S25 series, it builds on the success of Galaxy AI when it came out on the S24. A lot of it has to do with personalization. Yes, you'll be able to use things like best face for to get the best camera shots, AI eraser, and even generative fill to actually do things on your phone. But what makes the most difference is Samsung's tweaks to make it cater to you. Things like this, the Now bar, which gives you pertinent information to what is coming up for your day, and it also learns how you use your phone. So like, let's say if you have emails that need to be answered that are urgent, it will pull it up, it will pull up your schedule, and it gives you everything you need according to when you're pulling up the Now bar. It also gives you quick access to your media controls when you're using it, and it gives you a lot of contextual information based on your usage. I know I've said that a lot, but essentially that's what it does. Samsung has also improved things like AI notes and also AI translation. With the S24 series, if you remember, we could get translations of all your conversations on WhatsApp. In the S25 series, you get that, and on top of that, you also can tweet in multiple languages. That is a mainstay of One UI 7 as a whole. It hasn't rolled out to older flagships, but Samsung has done a lot of tweaks to make their apps work better with number one, Gemini Live, and also with their AI features as a whole. You don't get Google Assistant at all on these phones anymore. Everything goes through Gemini, and Google's improvements to Gemini actually show on these phones. A lot of things that Google Assistant could do and Gemini couldn't are able to be done by Gemini on these phones. And it's because Gemini has better integration into things like calendar, your notes, and even apps like Spotify. Aside from that, you're not really getting much of a hardware upgrade when it comes to the S25 series itself. Yes, the S25 Plus and S25 Ultra come with better battery, better screen, and even some optimizations when it comes to software. But when you're talking about overall, you will hear a lot of people say that it's more of the same from Samsung. But I give them credit where credit is due. They have worked on their software and it's made the experience that much better. And up to now, you can't really get this software experience on any other Samsung device. So overall, is the S25 series worth an upgrade? I would say yes, if you're coming from the S20, S21, and maybe even the S22. If you've got the S23 and S24 series, you may want to hold off just because One UI 7 is set to roll out to other Samsung phones. And we're not sure what the limitations of the hardware of older devices are. And until you get that update, I think you're better off staying with your current devices to see which features come to your older devices. But if you're really up for an upgrade, the Ultra is the only one I can say is worth 100% of an upgrade, just because of the extra 50 megapixel telephoto lens. And you get better camera quality, better audio, and even a better overall experience with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Well, there you have it. That's the S25 series overall review. Tell us what you like about the Samsung Galaxy S25 series in the comments below. And if you're not a Samsung user, what features do you think will come to your device soon? I'm Jeevan, this is techENT, and I'll see you in the next one.